Hello, greetings to everyone. Today I am going to give some basic principles of literary criticism. Literary criticism is a branch of study concerned with defining literature. This could be done by classifying and evaluating works of literature. Shaw's view that civilization cannot progress without criticism underlines the value of literary criticism. Northrop Frye also echoes this view. A public that tries to do without criticism and asserts that it knows what it wants or likes brutalizes the arts and loses its cultural memory. Art for art's sake is a retreat from criticism which ends in impoverishment of civilized life itself. Any literary criticism begins with the question, what is literature? Literature is the widest sense of the term, is simply anything that is written. So this should be distinguished from what is called imaginative literature, with which a serious student of literature is primarily concerned. However, a satisfactory definition of literature is difficult to arrive at. One could define the various forms and genres of literature, but not literature. Even editors of literary dictionaries have often, understandably, failed to offer a definition of the central collective term literature. This is not surprising because the greatest literary theorists, right from Plato, have failed to find agreement on the nature of their subject matter. However, an explanation of the general nature and function of literature underscoring some distinctive qualities is possible. One may seek the nature of literature in its various aspects, from extrinsic and from intrinsic. Extrinsically, one could regard it as a definite cultural institution, an interrelated set of semiological systems. However, the identification of literature with the history of civilization is to deny the specific field and specific methods of literary study. Literature is writing which expresses and communicates thoughts, feelings and attitudes towards life. Literature, hence, is unique. It might be lifelike, but it is not life. The literary language is and has to be ambiguous and connotative. The statement is a novel or a poem or a play are not literally true. The fictionality is a point to ponder. The principle of characterization in literature has always been defined as the combining the type with the individual, showing the type in the individual as well as the individual in the type. Evidently, literature imitates, depicts, represents, presents, embodies people, objects, societies, and ideas. But then, Archibald's McLeish's dictum is to be borne in mind. A poem must be equal to, not true. Hence, considerations of true and reality are not relevant to literature. What is significant is that a literary work of art is not a simple object, but rather a highly complex organization of stratified character, with multiple meanings and relations. Literature has many possible functions. Its prime and chief function is, however, fidelity to its own nature. This explains the various possible definitions regarding the function of literature. After all, the nature and function of literature are correlative. The nature of an object follows from its use. It is what it does. According to Horace, poetry is sweet and useful. In a good work of art, pleasure and utility should not merely coexist but coalesce. As Belloc and Warren rightly observe, the unique quality of literature is that it is more general than history and biography, but more particularized than psychology or sociology. Much depends on what one looks for in literature. One view is that literature is to be enjoyed, not to be studied. But then the word study is not restricted to science alone. It applies to any systematic knowledge. After all, one looks for in literature not what is common, but what is unique, special and individualistic. One goes to Shakespeare not for what common Elizabethan traditional aspects he presents, but for what is unique in him. But again, no work of art can be completely unique for the simple reason that will be then be incomprehensible. With that, I conclude my lecture. More points to go. We'll see in the next video. Thank you everyone. This is Josephine Stella, Department of English, Bishop College.